Welcome in to this Mercury retrograde reading. I thought we would pull a few cards about Mercury retrograde, which is lasting from like the end of June, I believe, till the end of July. Excuse me, maybe something to do with throat chakra. Notoriously, many people experience issues with electronics, going either haywire or like emails not being sent or different things like that. People from the past coming back. Those are some common experiences and themes. I don't know if you've had any Mercury retrograde, we'll call it symptoms, leading up to this either. I had some weird issues with my phone not quite working right. I got a text from my dad that he didn't actually send. So some interesting things like that, at least for me with electronics. So I don't know about you. But all right, let's get a card out of this Black Moon Astrology deck. Depending on what it is, we may or may not peek at the book here to get potential theme for this period here. I hope you're doing really well. Let's see, that shuffle felt weird. I see the solar eclipse card, and I believe eclipse season is coming up here. I guess I'd have to look at the dates. I don't quite know. All right, cutting the deck with 5th house, creativity, and lunar eclipse change. So I saw both the solar and lunar eclipse here. All right, let's see what we get. Mars force, number 5. 5s can also be about change. Now, Mars is fiery energy, so this could be something shifting with either your masculine energy or someone around you. Maybe things feel like they're being forced at this time, so you might be in a situation that maybe you're forcing yourself to kind of get through, or grin and bear it is coming to mind. Or this could be you getting more assertive or standing up for yourself, boundaries. So let's get some info out of the book here and just see. Let's see the quote on this one. War does not determine who is right, only who is left. So has there been any fighting? Again, my throat is starting to act really weird, which wasn't happening until I started recording this video. So maybe you have been in some sort of argument with somebody, or there's something that you want to say that maybe you forced yourself to keep quiet, or sometimes, right, we want to say something, but we're a little bit afraid, so you might have to kind of push yourself through that fear as well. But yeah, there might be something that you have to fight for. Pushing back, being defensive, having a fire being lit. So key ideas: battles, adversaries, competition, sports events. Isn't the World Cup going on right now? I don't really follow any sports. Rushing and defense. So those might be some of the themes. So pretty in line what we were talking about there at the beginning. So let's add a little tarot to it and get some additional information. But there could be some sort of face-off or face-to-face, difficult conversation. Maybe being on the lookout for hot tempers. All right. Let's start out with a couple tarot cards to see what else. I saw the Queen of Wands wanted to pop out there, which is Aries energy associated with Mars. So again, that does talk about, again, setting boundaries. Maybe there is something you need to defend yourself for. All right, let's see here. to Hangman, Nine of Swords. So it could be a shift in your perspective or your stance on an issue. This is definitely something that has been giving anxiety. Look at the owl and the look on her face, in her eyes. So something definitely that you've been worried about. Maybe you've been stuck on for a while, overthinking. And this could be something that you've been waiting on, that maybe you even know, again, you need to either leave behind. Like I mentioned, you could be forcing yourself to stay in a situation, or you haven't taken action to move on. Let's get a little more with this Hanged Man. It seems like there has been, though, at least leading up to this point, some sort of stuck energy. Maybe you've been waiting on some sort of communication that hasn't come in. Yeah, so with the Lovers and Three of Pentacles going along with Hanged Man, definitely could be about some sort of big choice that you need to make that has to do with working with others. So maybe there is something in your career where you're needing to make a change or a shift, because the World and the Moon are at the bottom here. So some kind of chapter potentially closing out. Wow, and then the Sun. So many major arcana here. So definitely some sort of big energy for sure. All right, let's focus. But with the Lovers, so again, like I mentioned, could be your career needing to make a shift. Maybe you're going head to head with your boss, or there's something that you need to ask for, that you need to say, that you've been a little worried about and stressed. For others, definitely could also be relationship with the Lovers out here as well, where you've been stuck, or working together hasn't been as easy or as smooth as you had hoped. So maybe a little bit more work that needs to be put into a relationship, a project, some sort of partnership. All right, let's get a couple more with Nine of Swords here. Yeah, some sort of difficult or challenging conversation. Maybe it's a subject that you know hits a nerve, or like I said, with your boss, maybe you're asking to take more of a leadership role, or feeling like you've been stuck and there's not been development in your career. Maybe there's a different group or department that you want to work in. Yeah, with Nine of Swords, we've got Two of Cups, Nine of Cups. So relationship heavy for sure, whether this is romantic or otherwise. But it definitely has you stressing. And this might be something that didn't progress the way you had hoped. Like I said, didn't really build the way you thought it was. You've been worried about that quite a bit, because you really feel like whatever this, fill in the blank, person, job, situation, you feel like that's your Nine of Cups. Also with this card too, a lot of times I do get like, be careful of imbibing too much, drinking, or whatever your substance of choice might be. There's just sort of this dizzying feeling here when I kind of look at the cups and the way they are. But you definitely are seeking out more balance, wanting things to kind of meld or blend. So again, there has been some sort of difficult coming together. Things haven't been as smooth as you had hoped, and that's really what you're hoping for and looking for here. Let's see if we can get a little bit of maybe best next steps or advice. High Priestess, so this can be about going within. Notice how she's touching her throat in this card. So this is being discerning about the information you share, what you're going to say. With Mars and Force, again, watching out about being too aggressive. Or maybe there is some information that you even need to keep to yourself, as my throat starts acting up again. There's a white and black feather. We still have Temperance here at the bottom of the deck. So you've definitely been defensive, but trying to get out of that a little bit, it seems. This could be, you know, your energy has maybe been here for a while, and needing even to let loose and have a little bit of fun to balance out the stress. All right, so definitely though, using your intuition, going within to know the best step and the best guide, instead of maybe letting others tell you what you should be doing or what you need to be doing. Let's see if we can get anything else with High Priestess. So many major arcana, Wheel of Fortune as well. So the timing is finally right, but I think you're the one that needs to discern when is the right time to say something, when is the right time to make the move. Right? The universe does have energy supporting you here with, again, some sort of communication. That is mainly what at least the energy is feeling like here. Let's get one more card. Something being more fair. Another major with the Chariot. So things are going to start moving forward, and it could be really quickly. Also White and Black Cat on this card, so more of that yin-yang imbalance and balance, not imbalance. But again, you could be experiencing an imbalance in some sort of connection or situation that involves more than one person. Yeah, some sort of truth is going to be coming out. And I don't know if that's coming from you or you need to discern if what you're being told is true information. But back to knowing, right, the universe is guiding you in the right direction. Trusting your instincts. Trusting the timing of things too, even if you have felt like things have been stagnant or stuck. Like there's been some sort of forced situation that is going to alleviate here coming up. And again, that could be relatively quickly. All right, why don't we get one cat, if I could speak, one card out of the herb deck. This will be helpful energy for you to navigate, especially if this is your situation. I don't know, do you have something that needs to be said? Something you've been mulling over? Whether this is to your partner, or again, boss is coming out kind of heavy in my mind also. All right, out of the herb deck. Let's see if we can get message, a little extra information or support here from our Mother Earth herbal friends. You just saw be yourself. I did a reading the other day that talked about false people or just watching out for how you might shift kind of the way you act or who you are, depending on who you're around. So yeah, center and ground, red clover. Listening to your heart, noticing how that's at the center of this card. Grab the book here. I see little bees on this card. Again, those beautiful red clover. All right, let's see what red clover has to tell us before we close it out. This commonly cultivated forage crop feeds horses, cows, sheep, goats, and just about anything else humans keep at pasture. She plants your feet on the ground while encouraging you to run a few miles or dive into that art project you've been avoiding. So that's maybe where that hangman, something's been being avoided and there's been a little bit of being stuck. Red clover wants you to get moving, Chariot, in body and in spirit. She loves grounded action and will happily bolster your courage when you're acting from a strong center so you can step out and move forward. Bold but not rash. Think of that Mars force energy. Red clover gets your blood up so you can show up fully. All right. I love that message here. So really tapping into yourself, your strength, get grounded, go outside, get your feet planted in the ground, enjoy a little bit of nature to offset this stress or tension that you've been experiencing around whatever the situation is for you, so you can show up fully, so you can move forward in ways that are best for you, right? But only you can discern that. Okay, so that is the message we've got here around Mercury retrograde, supportive energies for you to draw on. I hope there was something here for you. Thanks for staying through the end of the video. If you did, please like the video or leave me a comment so we can connect. And until next time, peace.